short men and all these like boys like party do. I said fuck you, fuck your party. Give me the bloody shoes. Because I'm like, and on the walkie I can hear Mohit Suri going like chalo shot ready, chalo Khemu come to your mark, and I'm like I need to reach set.
Perfect. So, welcome to the next episode of the Openers podcast. Today we have Harshita Ramchandani with us, and who is currently working as a fashion stylist. And she has also worked on a few projects in Bollywood to start with. But Harshita's first career or profession wasn't fashion styling, right? It was something else, and I think you wouldn't be able to guess what it was. So let's take it to her and get to know about her journey. So Harshita, why don't we start with what did you do maybe in 11th and 12th after that, and how did you really get into fashion style?
Okay, hi guys. So I did science in 11th and 12th from Mithibai, and from there I went on to do engineering, MBA Tech Mechanical from NMIMS Mukesh Patel. But I left it midway. I did not complete my engineering. I left it after 2.5 years, and then I decided to switch to fashion. Got a diploma in fashion styling from FAD London School of Styling, and then started my career in fashion.
So I think like you have really done that, right? What that dropping of dream, right? College people have, right? Drop out of college, start
Yeah,
something
I
new.
I did that. I was just like, I was the one who had the guts to call up the parents and be like, I am leaving this. Do what you all want to do, and
But
then do
why
something else.
fashion, right? At that point in.
Why fashion?
Hmm.
Okay, so you know what? I always like after this experience, I have started to believe that whatever you want to do in your career is always around you, or there are traits in you, you just don't see it. And it's a very
Hmm.
subconscious thing. It's not like, oh my God, how did I not see it? It's very like, oh shit, it was right here. Like it was right in front of me. And till the time you don't do it, and till the time you're not happy selecting what you chose, you don't realize. So I was always interested in fashion. I always like had a good styling sense, I would like to say. And I'm not saying like that typical girls like who like to go shopping and all, but like the one who likes to pair things up, have a good eye on what's trending, what's not. I always had that, but I never thought I'd make a career out of it. And I used to just go about it. And I used to enjoy seeing other people, in the fashion industry work. And I was always intrigued going towards them and helping them. But I never took it seriously as a career option because when I was back in the 11th, I was not educated well enough for that fashion is so vast. Like for us, like when I spoke to Nishant, I told him that when you speak to your parents and you ask them, okay, tell me what are the career options in fashion, what will they tell you? They'll say designing. Okay, like you
Nif.
design, yeah, NIF, and like you go, you make clothes, you become a designer, you open a boutique. There are
Yep.
so many relatives of mine who till date actually don't know what my career is. They just go like, "Ha, fashion, something, something." So because our parents and all were not aware of how vast fashion is, obviously, we as kids also did not know until you see your surrounding. So I was very sure I don't want to get into designing. I don't want to make clothes. So with time only, when I was in engineering, did I get to know, oh, fashion is vast and it has communication, it has writing, it has styling, it has so many different things. And then that just got me interested, and I was like, this is what I want to do.
So basically, in those 2 years also, right, in the early part of your college journey, you kept on
Yeah.
exploring fashion and what is it really in fashion, right?
No, so
That.
I did not explore. I was really
Mhm.
sure that I want to do engineering, and it's not like my parents forced me to do
Hmm.
engineering or become an engineer. It was
Hmm.
all by my own will. Like I wanted to be a mechanical engineer. I wanted to go ahead, help my dad with his business and his company. All of it was all me. There was,
Hmm.
and it was just I can say in 12th when I decided that I want to do engineering. The one reason I did engineering was because I wanted to go into my dad's business, but that was solely the reason I wanted to do engineering. And if I was like, when people ask me, okay, if not engineering, then what? I was blank. I was not sure. I was not confident. I, had my doubts. So I chose the safe path back then. Like in 12th, I was like, just choose the safe path. You don't have to, stress about your career or what will you do after getting this degree. Will you go in somewhere? Because that's business, basically, to cut it short, safe zone. But when I was doing engineering, I realized that this is not for me. I'm not happy doing this. It's not like I'm not studying. It's not like, oh, I'm faffing around or I'm going here and there and I'm not paying attention. I with time just started realizing that I'm not happy here. This doesn't make me happy. And simultaneously, what happened was it was very unpredictable. Nothing in fashion had come into my head. And it was just a friend's elder sister came out of a fashion college,
Oh,
and she started doing styling, and I used to go to my friend's house really often, and that's where like I just saw it was not like, oh my god, she was teaching me or telling me this is what I do and do you want to be a part of this. It was all very natural, how you casually talk to friends and you're like, oh, what is your sister doing, and okay, where is she now and what's happening. It was so casual. It was just that when I got that information from my friend's sister, I got very interested. And suddenly that's when I started realizing that I'm really liking what she's doing and I'm paying attention to when she talks about her work, and I get intrigued by it. I want to help her. I keep asking her questions about it. I'm curious. I want to know more. I want to, I'll be like, oh, can I do this for you? And that's where like I got the hint that maybe you're interested in this, just do your homework more. And that's when I started doing my research and homework on fashion styling.
Makes sense. I think,
so yeah,
yeah.
I think one question is, why did you decide to drop at that moment in time? And why not say get a degree for the sake of getting a degree, right? And because many people you talk to, even if they want to pursue their passion, they're like, okay, let us get a degree in engineering and then see what
Degree
to
karke,
figure it out, right?
yeah,
So what was your
yeah.
rationale?
So okay, very honestly, I failed my first year in engineering. And when I failed that year, I gave my exams again and I cleared it. So the first year when I failed, everybody at home thought that maybe what I said, like I didn't study. So the assumption was that you're not paying attention and you're not focusing on your thing. That is why. And I was just like, I deep down knew. I'm like, no. Like I was, okay guys, I was a very good student in school. I used to be in the top 5 in my class. So I just deep down knew that if I want to do this, I can. But when I realized that I'm not happy, there came a breaking point. Like, even after I cleared my first year, I went into the second year. I was doing better in my second year. I had a lot of friends who supported me, my classmates who suddenly went like, okay, let's do group studies, like we'll be with you, we'll help you out. So there was a lot of support from everywhere, like those tuitions and everything possible. I got it. But this thing that you said, that getting a degree, I was just like, it's a 5-year course, okay, it's a MBA tech, it's a dual degree. I already failed my first year. I somehow managed to come into my second year, and now I'm crying in my second year. So I'm like, I can't keep crying for the next 3 years more, right? Like, I was just like, this is torture. This is getting torture for me, and I'm not able to bear it anymore. I'm just not happy. And I really tried. Like, I honestly, before even picking up the phone and telling my parents that I don't want to do this, I really thought it through. Like, I did my homework. I knew what questions will be thrown at me. I knew what are the possibilities and how many backlashes I'm going to get for this. I prepared myself for everything. I was so confident. So I have a degree. It's not like I just have a diploma. I did a degree from Mumbai University, BA in psychology. So I was prepared. I did my homework on what Ideal University is, Mumbai University, distance learning. I did all of that homework and then decided to leave because I was just like, if I'm not happy doing engineering, and it's not easy, guys. You all are engineers here. You all know it. It's difficult. So I was just like, if I'm crying every day, if I'm struggling to pass my exams here, just like, to survive, keep pass. And this NMIMS and all have like high attendance and higher, like how Mumbai universities have, I think, 40% passing, something like that, 35, 40. These people, please just cut this, okay, from this recording. I want to say these idiots have like some 70% or some nonsense shit like that. So it was more difficult. So for me, it was also like a part where I was just like, it's not even the bare minimum where like I'm smart and I'll just clear it 35 karke degree la dungi. Here it's like you really have to study and clear a 50-55% and then you go through your, then you clear and get into the next year. So I was like, leave this, leave the torture, do something that you like. And you've been like a ICICI school student, a science student in 11th and 12th, then I'm sorry, but like BA just suddenly seems very easy. And then you've struggled 2 years in engineering. So then BA in psychology through Mumbai University, ideal where you just have to go give your exams, just felt like, great, I can do this very easily. So I did that. I got my degree simultaneously while working in fashion. That's my leaving story.
That's an interesting journey. And as you mentioned, obviously parents wouldn't have taken it to the point, right? They would have argued, they would have said, like continue for one more year, see if it interests you, and then if you
Correct.
can go ahead and you can go ahead and do it. But you had a certain plan ready with you that I want to get into this, and you convinced them somehow.
Yes.
So
Not somehow, matlab, I think she prepared herself first
yeah,
with
I
all
mean,
the points that will come on, and like she is ready to face it, right? With the options that she had already
Yeah,
explored.
so I did have all of that happened that you just said. I even went for counseling with my mother when I decided to leave engineering. Like she was not prepared. She called up my father and said, "Your daughter has gone mad. Please talk to her." Because I called them up in middle of my final exams of second year, like the
oh,
first
I
semester
think
final
I think
exams.
I think the story would be really interesting, Harshita. The day you went to
You
the
want me to
exam,
say that?
for sure.
So that is actually really funny because the first semester final exams had started and I gave my first 2-3 exams and all, and suddenly one day I was just like, no, this is it, I can't do this, I just don't want to study this anymore, I'm not even completing this exam. And I already knew that I don't want to do this, but first I thought I'll finish my exams and then I'll see, let the results come, let me see. Like I was yet dicey on like, is this the right time to throw the bomb at home? But I was so drained mentally and I was just so not happy giving these exams that just one night before one of the exams, I picked up the phone and my parents were out of town. They had gone for some function or something to Hyderabad. And I called up my mom and said, I'm not going tomorrow for the exam. And she was just like, what? What is this call? And she's like, have you gone mad? I said, no, I'm really serious. I've thought this through. You come back to Bombay, you come back home, we'll talk. So she's just like, you've gone mad, just go for the exam tomorrow. Are you stressing? And then, she just like tried to analyze and she's like, okay, maybe you're stressing for tomorrow's exam. So you're having this breakdown. And I'm like, no, I'm not having a breakdown. I am really not interested in going in tomorrow's exam. I don't want to go for any exam after this. So she's like, whatever. And I was like, okay, what does whatever mean? She's cut the call. Then she's called up, she told dad, and then dad's called one uncle who's a doctor, family doctor. And he's called me up saying, Bacha, what is happening? And I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be a family drama. This has started. And I'm like, okay, now shit is getting real. Now start preparing yourself. And then like I told everything. I had my breakdown. I cried on the call and all. And then everyone understood. Then everyone was like, okay, why don't you? Then they put this proposal in front of me that why don't you just go for tomorrow's exam and just give it a shot? Let's see what happens. I said, fine, I will go. And then I gave them a warning. I said, I am shutting my books. I am not staring into this engineering book anymore because nothing is going in my brain. I am sitting on this bed on my study table for hours. The full day has passed. And if you ask me one question, I do not have an answer to this. That is how drained I am. They were like, it's fine. Because they really thought I'm just having a breakdown. They were not prepared. They were just like, she's just saying it, let her go. So next day I've gone to college and we're prepared. Everyone's outside the classroom studying, going like, oh my god, 20 minutes more and we have to go into the exam hall. Everything is happening and I'm chilling. I'm like, karna hi nahi hai. I don't want to do this. So what's the point of stressing? What's the point of going inside this exam hall? And everyone, all my friends, all my classmates thought she's going to ace this exam. That's how prepared she's come because she's not opened her book only. And I'm just like, guys, I'm going to fail. I've come only to show my face. I'm going to leave the minute 40 minutes are over. You have that minimum time to sit, and then you're supposed to leave. So I'm like, you see, the minute 40 minutes, I'm like, I have my clock, I have my watch. The minute 40 minutes, I walk out. No one believed me until those 40 minutes actually got over, and I walked out of that classroom with an empty sheet of exam paper handed over to the teacher. And the teacher was just like, what is happening to this girl? Came back home, told my parents. They were just like, no, go every day, go every day, go every day. I said, guys, y'all are not realizing I am submitting empty papers. Why are y'all embarrassing me and yourselves? The teacher goes into shock, which is, please let me not go. Then my friends got a reality check. Then my friends were just like, oh my god, this girl is serious. She's really. Then everyone got to know that she wants to leave. And then that whole convincing the parents wala journey started. Because then I was just like, I'm not going anymore. Everybody else can do whatever they want. I am not going. Till date, I don't know what results came out of those exams. I'm sure it must have been a 0, 0, 0, 0.
I
Yeah.
think we can relate to a lot of points over here.
Oh,
We
please,
did our
Mayank.
Yeah.
Mayank is
engineering.
in Microsoft right now, so he can't relate to any of the points you have mentioned over here. But okay.
Really crying before the exam, having group study.
No, that we have done. That we
How
have
can
done.
you
Yeah,
forget?
I mean, that's a very engineering thing to do, where you go into, all your friends who stay on rent and who are not from Mumbai. And then you have their own rooms and houses where you're just like together studying and supporting each other. I mean, those were fun days,
They were
but
fun days for sure.
I'm glad I didn't
Definitely.
continue. Yeah. Guys, I got the best of both worlds. I just saying.
Yeah.
I get to.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, here comes, right? So you got into this fashion styling and you had to continue, right? After this college, right?
Yeah.
After you dropped down. What really comes under fashion styling and what's your day-to-day job? Maybe if you can help people understand.
I will tell you. Also, before I get to that question, I really also want to put this across that the one fear that my parents really had when I dropped out of engineering and said that I want to do fashion was, what if suddenly this girl turns around and says fashion is not for me either?
Yeah,
Which
definitely.
actually, which actually made me question myself 10,000 times, because now I had to be 100% sure that this is not a mistake, that me leaving engineering, getting into fashion styling, and then choosing a career here, I have to be happy and I have to be 100% sure that I want to do this, because there's no scope of going back. Because also, I'm going to lose out. I mean, there is a scope of going back, but I'm going to lose out on so many years, basically. I'm going to be wasting a lot of my own time. So I had to
But I
be
think you
like,
will be putting that in exploration path of yours, right? What you really likes and all. But yeah,
yeah, so
definitely
that
that comes
homework.
right at that age, right? We really don't know what we wanted to do and if we are doing
Yeah,
it
but I
on
had
the
to
right path.
really do my homework to be sure that,
Yes.
fashion styling is the career that I want to do. And then that whole journey of convincing my parents that I promise you this is what I want to do. I'm not going to backtrack. I'm not going to regret this, was a whole different journey altogether too. But once I got into this, everybody saw. Trust me, like when everyone saw na, and they spoke about it, and that information reached me that your parents are proud of you, your family is proud of you, because you took that step for yourself, you went out of the way to do what you like. And that, I know it sounds very cliche, but in the initial, like, I've been in the fashion industry for 5 years now, but my first 2 3 years I was just obsessed with that typical mantra of do what you love what you do, because I faced
Yeah.
it. So for me, that
Yeah.
mantra just suddenly meant so much that I was all over it. I just really believe in it. Now I'm
Hmm.
going to come back to the
So, but
question you asked.
yeah, maybe before that, right? As you said, right, it's very difficult at that age to decide what we really wanted to do. Maybe we
Yeah,
can
I
all
think
share
everybody
together
faces that.
how you chose mechanical engineering, right?
Yeah.
Why only
So my
mechanical? Yeah.
so my dad, like I said, his company and business, his business
Mm-hmm.
is manufacturing of overhead railing cranes. So he
Mm-hmm.
has like a business, a company, everything here in Bombay. And we are the owners of that company, FAFCO, Furnace and Foundry. So as a kid, since I was a kid, I've only heard stories about how my grandfather, we are Sindhis. So, that whole Sindhi story of the partition, them coming from Sindh,
Mm-hmm.
and then, starting a fresh life here with zero money. So I was really inspired by my grandfather. Like, till date, for me, my grandfather means so much, and he's my mentor. I look up to him. So since I was a kid, I've seen him. Okay, like I've seen him go to the company. I've seen him work. Then I've heard stories about how he started his own business after coming here, get completing his engineering, start working in another company, then starting his own business, and how
Yeah,
he's
so
grown.
basically want to support them in their
Yeah, I
business.
was just really,
Mm.
support also, but I was just really like, if I have to put it across in like simplest words, I felt
Mm.
like this company and this business is my grandfather's baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, after my father, who? I was like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
cannot
definitely.
let this hard work go waste. I'm like,
Mm.
this needs to be carried on. This needs to, I mean, it's so precious to our family. And whatever we are today, whatever financial status I am at today is all because of my grandfather. So the whole credit goes to him, right? So for me, letting go of the reason why we are what we are today in the,
Mm.
for my grandfather, it would be in the crane industry, his name in the crane industry, or where the financial status we are at and the surroundings and everything. I was just like, I owe it to this man. I mean,
Got it.
I was just like, yeah, and I was really inspired by him. For me, it was not about engineering. For me, it was my grandfather and living up to his name and continuing the legacy. I was
Mm.
really inspired, and I really wanted to go into his company and be there for him and with him. So,
Mm.
but he said a very sensible thing to me. My grandfather said that to take over the company or to be a part of this company, you need to be an engineer. And his logic was very simple. Now, people may agree or disagree to this. It really, depends, because I disagreed. Because when I realized that I don't want to do engineering, I did go up to him and be like, can I do business management? Because it's business, right? At the end of the day, I want to handle the business, I want to handle the company with you. So my grandfather just turned around and said, listen, it's very simple. If you become an engineer, you are educated about what your business is. You can hire an engineer under you and they can work for you. But in today's, lifestyle and in today's competitive world, who is genuine to you, you will never know. Anyone can
Yes.
come and cheat you and take your designs or give you a wrong design. And because you're not educated in this line, you will not have an option but to believe them. You're not an engineer, but you hired an engineer under you. And if they say, ma'am, this is what it is and this is how you're going about it, because you're not educated about it, you'll be like, yeah, okay, you must be saying the right thing. So he made
Makes sense.
sense.
Mm.
That's why, like, and he really told me, he's like, you do whatever makes you happy. You don't want to be an engineer, it's okay. But then getting into this company and taking over would be difficult. And so, I had that whole different story where then I had to be prepared for this also, that okay, I'm not going to join my dad's business and my grandfather's business anymore. I'm going to start fresh. And they were supporting me. It's not like they didn't. They were like, you go ahead, we'll be there for you. And when they really saw how happy I am and how good I am, or how, my path in fashion is taking steps only forward, they were all really happy for me. So, it worked out good for everybody. And I had
Yes.
great support. It was difficult in the start, but eventually when they saw it, the support and love I got from them, I mean, I love it.
Makes sense. Completely agree. So, right, what really brings into your this fashion styling? What are the different career options that you have like tried or explored, and why you chose to be stylist?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll tell you, fashion styling is also vast. Like we call it styling or slash costume designing. So
Okay.
styling is one part of it, and designing is also a part of it. And there are different kinds of fashion stylings and all. Some people do only wedding stylings, that is, and personal stylings, that is, people who can afford stylists in your day to day life, and you have the money for it. They will call you up and be like, just come and help me for my daily events, for my lunches, just fix my wardrobe. And there's so many people, and this is a real thing. I don't know if you're aware, but this is a real thing that so many people have the money, but they don't know how to dress well. They'll go to a luxury shop and they'll just pick up random things and they'll just wear it together and then they look like cartoons. So those people who are aware about fashion stylists also hire fashion stylists. So that's like that is one category, which is personal styling. Then there is editorial, which is basically magazines. So today your Vogue or your any other, fashion magazines where you see all your celebrities and all on the cover, and inside the photographs of those, of those actors inside, they're all styled by fashion stylists. Like that is where we come on board as editorial stylists, as magazine stylists. And then we come and then, we arrange the clothes, we arrange the jewelry, we arrange the footwear, we pair things up together and we make a look. And then the actor approves, because obviously the actor has to wear it. So then, you see things and how the actor's happy. And then, so that's one section, that's editorials. There's personal, there's editorial, there's ads, your advertisements on TV, then there is movies, and like a little bit here and there. So basically, and then the celebrity styling, that is red carpets. So all your red carpets, all the events that you see your celebrities go to, your Siddharth Kiara wedding, all the celebrities that have right now gone, and all the paps that have clicked them, all those outfits. Not like your actors are buying new outfits every day, guys. It's we as stylists come into the picture. They hire us. We speak to designers. We speak to fashion designers who have their boutiques, saying, you know what, these are the looks of yours that we really like. Okay, we will select and we'll be like, okay, this will look good on her. This is the body type. There's a lot that goes into it, like your body type, your skin tone, your actor's personal style. So you consider all of that, and then you style your actor, the jewelry. You go into brands, jewelry brands give you on approval, on credit basis. Basically, if you see your celebrities, they post high resolution pictures on Instagram and they give credits, outfit from, jewelry from. So that's all credit basis, because we as stylists have gone to those shops or those designers or those jewelry shops and picked things up for our celebrity, put a look together, made them look the way we want them to look or the way they are happy looking. Come to a middle ground where the stylist is happy and the celebrity is happy. They go for an event, they come back, we take everything and we return it to the stores who have given it to us for credit basis. So that's your celebrity styling. So I've covered like 3 things right now.
Yeah,
Your personal styling, your
sorry, one question, Harshita. In the celebrity styling, please tell me you don't style the airport looks of the celebrities.
sometimes people do.
Seriously, the airport looks.
Yeah. Airport looks also are sometimes styled by stylists. So stylists. I in my initial years have done that for
wow.
yeah, like, but for your TV actors and all. So these bloggers and celebrities, they get these free sponsored trips also. If you see their Instagram, they'll be like sponsored trip to Dubai or wherever they go. So sometimes we as stylists also style them for their personal trips. So that's one scenario also which I had faced, where I had, from your airport look, for what you're wearing to the airport, to your day one, because they are bloggers and all, they have a fixed itinerary that they're given by the sponsors. So they tell you that day one we're going to do this, day 2, day 3, day 4. So according to the itinerary, I go and pick up outfits according to, okay, are you going for swimming? Are you going to the beach? Are you going for a yoga session? Are you going to a museum? So what outfit or what kind of look would be appropriate for you to go on that day? I have packed, like, we've done trials, we've created looks. I have clicked pictures and shared it on WhatsApp saying day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. I have packed them in Ziploc bags with like notes which say day 1, jewelry for day 1, footwear for day 1. It's all packed in a suitcase for the celebrity, for them. They just have to remove it and wear it, because trials are done. So, airport look to their sponsored travel looks are also sometimes done by celebrities. Not all the time. There are people who also go like, we'll manage with what we have. But it's not like stylists are not involved. So many times stylists are involved, like I was involved.
Yeah, I mean, people
So
won't
it's vast.
realize or notice that, but every celebrity or even any influencer or famous person you see what they're wearing might not really be their choice of wearing it, right? It might be influenced by not only stylists, but also their say managers, production houses,
Correct.
sponsors, a lot of people.
Correct. There's a lot of involvement. But when it comes to celebrity styling for the red carpets and their traveling and all, very honestly, the celebrity has the higher, because it's their
CEO.
personal thing, right? So
Yeah.
they will select what they like. It's not like a movie where like I prefer advertisements and movies. So how it differs from styling actors in movies is because movies you have a character, right? Like your actor is playing a specific role. So it might be a middle class girl. So that time the actor, and come on, actors are great, okay? They don't throw tantrums unnecessary or something like that. They know. So when it's a personal event, them not liking something makes sense because they are like, I am going as, like if today I'm
Me.
Harshita, I'm a
Yeah.
celebrity. So if I'm going to a red carpet, I'm going as Harshita. I'm not going as a character. So I would like to wear what I like. So that's where the stylist creativity goes down a little, because if the stylist is not happy, she can't do anything about it, because eventually it's the actor's call, because the actor's like, but I want this. Like today, actor can turn around and tell me that for IFA awards, I want to wear a red gown. Then it's my job to go hunt for a red gown, figure it out. Even if there's no red gown in the world, then as a stylist, if she's hired me, it's my responsibility that I get her that red gown that she likes. But yes, like because they've hired me, they also have that sense of trust where they will listen to me. They'll be like, okay, you know what, Hasta's saying this is not looking that great. Maybe the other one is looking great. Unless they're really in love with one outfit that they don't listen to the stylist, that's a different story. But sometimes, they also, like, they know that okay, the stylist is saying something for a reason. Like, okay, if the stylist saying don't wear these heels, wear that shoe, or wear, I think in today's trends, this footwear is better than that, or this jewelry. So many celebrities listen to their stylist. They're like, okay, she knows. We trust her. There's a lot of trust that is involved when it comes to celebrity styling. Like the actor needs to trust their team, be it hair, be it makeup, be it styling, like the clothes. They need to trust. They have that trust in their team. They will make me look good for a red carpet or for any event that they're going for.
Okay.
Got it. So Ranveer Singh has a stylist? I don't think so, right?
Yeah. So see, Ranveer, yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Ranveer has a stylist,
Yes.
and Ranveer trusted her. Ranveer trusted the process of. Now, personally, I don't know whose idea was it. Was it the stylist idea to like, let's do something different and
Exactly.
change the game here?
Yeah, yeah.
Or was it Ranveer's idea? But whoever's idea it was, it worked great.
I mean, he got the PR
Good,
he
Crazy.
wanted.
good public.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good publicity or bad publicity. It was publicity for him. He came
Correct.
in the limelight. He got the attention that he wanted. And honestly, it was not bad. For us as stylists, we were loving it. For the common people, yeah, some people were like, oh my god, what is he doing? Why is he doing this? But today he carries it off. Today, people,
Yeah.
if they dress like that, it's known as a Ranveer Singh look. It's
Exactly.
named that. If someone wears any pop color, if a guy ends up wearing floral pop colors and like, trending Gen Z that we call it nowadays and all, suddenly it's a Ranveer Singh look. So he did it. His
Yeah, he
aim,
created.
his and his stylist accomplished whatever they wanted. They got it.
Completely agree.
I'll just continue, okay? Like the first three I told you all about personal styling, celebrity red carpet styling and all, and which was the third one, guys? Come on. I'm asking you all the question now. Which was the third one?
You're taking a quiz now, is it?
Celebrity
Yeah.
styling,
It is magazine
personal
celebrity.
styling
Magazine.
magazine.
Yes.
Magazine.
Yeah. The magazine one. Correct.
I win the quiz. Yeah.
Smart. You're all paying attention, guys. Proud of you. So yeah, then there's advertisements and there is movies. So kind of similar yet very different. I would say personally, some stylists might deny. Please do not attack me if any other stylist ever hears this podcast. Uh, so, advertisement is basically all the ads that you all see on television or on social media. They also have a stylist. So basically, like Axis Bank or be it Mama Earth or whatever brand. Okay, like you all give me an example. Any particular brand that gets a TV advertisement done, they are known as the client.
Lenskart.
Correct, Lenskart. Okay. So Lenskart is the client, and then they go to an agency and they tell the agency that we want to do this, shoot up for this product. Then that agency goes to a production house. And now that production house sets up a meeting with the agency client. They have their own set of meetings that they do, and then the production house hires a team. So they have like different hair, makeup, lighting, director, DOP, all of that, and then a stylist. So here's where a costume stylist, here's where the costume designer also comes. So I am a costume fashion stylist slash designer because I also make clothes for that particular brief given. So imagine today Lenskart says that the clients comes up to us and says that, guys, okay, we don't want to show any basic guy wearing a chashma and all. We want him to look like a clown. We want a clown wearing our specs. Just a random example, okay? And then like you have these rental stores. Like in school, if you remember, we used to go to this dress walas and all and pick up our costumes back in school days. Like we had
Yes.
this. So we as stylists yet go there to pick up a clown costume or a chef costume or a waiter costume or a ghagra or any specific requirement. But we also make stuff. Like today, if they give us a very specific brief where they say that we want a yellow clown, we do not want a typical looking clown also, so we choose the fabric, or sometimes in the brief if there's something so specific that they've asked for and you do not get it in your local market, we make it. We go to the fabric store, we pick up those fabrics, we go to the tailor, we make it, we design also. We like one small example, there was this brand, there was this company, not a brand, sorry, this company that was starting a fresh restaurant, like a new concept, and they wanted the waiter, the chef costume and everything to look different. So we also design it. We also do our research, Google, Pinterest, everything, and then we combine different styles together. We contact illustrators or we contact designers to design our outlook. Like here's the difference between a stylist and a designer, because we can create or design a new look, but we can't, we sometimes can. Fashion designers can also be stylists. All stylists cannot be designers. So like if I cannot draw it on a piece of paper, a designer will do it for me. And then I can also hire a designer saying, now make this for me. Like this is my styling concept, this is my idea, and you do it. Coming back to ads. So here there's a brief given. So as a stylist, I can style the particular ad of Lenskart in the way my client wants it. The client needs to be happy. The Lenskart client has to be happy with what I'm providing them, what the storyboard is, how the story goes, and it has to match. There are a lot of meetings that take place with the director, with the production house, with the DOP, because you have with the art department, that's the setting, because as a set designer or a set decorator, they have a concept of how the surrounding will look. So if today I am there, they'll be like, okay, Harshita, the sofa is brown. So then I have to go like, okay, if the sofa is brown, then I can't give a brown top. It will merge. I'll give a what I'm wearing, purple. I'll give a purple. Then we discuss it with the director, saying, are you okay if it's a purple? Then Lenskart can come up to me and be like, no, we don't want purple because purple is whatever, some XYZ brand ka, Chashme brand ka, their competitor's color. So leave Lenskart, okay, like Samsung. Samsung is blue and white. Now if you all go and watch ads, pay attention, I'll tell you all do this. Whenever you all watch an ICICI ad, you see the colors. It's all in the same family of the ICICI brand ka, the orangish, reddish and all. Samsung ka ad, you'll always see someone's wearing a blue. Vicks, you'll see someone's wearing green or blue. Or they'll all wear pastel colors. Or they'll not wear colors which are their competitors' colors. That's like a big thing. I did an Axis Bank ad. There was maroon and all involved, but there was no major red involved. They said no, red is our competitor bank's color. So you have all of that goes into like your meetings, your discussions, what color, what style, okay, what do you want, okay, sleeveless, okay, no, okay, what is it, okay, is she looking, does she have to look like an auntie, does she have to look old, does she have to, what is the brief? You go, you have 10,000 meetings, you finally get locked, then you have to, like, as a stylist, for me in ads, after that whole presentation is done, the meeting is done, we start sending references to them. And okay, like these are the looks that I can create for you, or I can, this is what is trending,
Yeah.
and this is what will go into the zone of the ad that we are planning on shooting. Then from those references, it's not just my call, it's the director's call, it's the DOP's call, it's the, everybody has a call in this. The client, majorly the client, wherein they have to be happy and be like, okay, yeah, you know what, we are liking the references you're sending, go ahead. Then we have another meeting wherein we'll tell them what is actually available in the market. And if you really want something like this, I can make it for you if it's not available in the market. So then there's a whole process of getting the products actually, or getting the costumes in front of you, actually, be it making, you get it done from a tailor, you go, it's vast, guys. Like even in ads, there are times where you do not get what the client wants, and because your aim is what, that the client has to be happy, the production has to be happy, you're given a certain budget, you know. See, like, how is it different from magazines and celebrities and, you know, person is there, you're given a salary, correct? Like if someone hires me, okay, this is your fees, and everything else is on credit basis. So that is there. Here I'm given a budget, my fees is separate, my costume budget is separate, wherein, like, example, 50,000 is my budget for a lens cart ad. So in that 50,000 I have to, you know, do how many ever, like there are 3 actors, then there's background juniors, or the secondary cast, like the 2 3 friends around, whatever it is. Then I'll divide, like as a stylist I will divide that money, that okay, I'll aim that I'll finish the main actor in this much amount, this much amount, this much amount. So when I go into the market, I divide the money and, like, okay, get me this that fits into my budget. I have to sometimes create stuff. So there's a fabric, then I'll go to a dyer, I will dye clothes, I will then give it for stitching, cutting, making sure it fits, you know, the actor's size. You talk to the actor for their sizes, measurements. There's a whole lot that goes into just making that one costume. Like when
Harshita,
you see,
so the
yeah,
finance for the entire thing that you decide is what you do.
yeah,
You don't have a finance guy or someone who
no,
spends
yeah.
the
So
time with you and tells you that you can divide it. This.
no, yeah. So that is, we as stylists only do that.
Wow.
We create, yeah. So because we have that, see, like for 5 years, right? I have an experience for 5 years. So now I know, if you would ask me the same question 3 years back, I would have been confused. Because everyone's always learning. So if a production house would have come up to me and been like, okay, do this lens card ad in 10,000, I would have been like, I don't know if I can do it. Today I can turn around and tell that same production house, guys, it's impossible. If you want me to style 5 people in this ad, I cannot give you what you are looking for in 10,000. So that's how you decide, because now you have so much experience that you know what costs how much in the market, approximately where will you get what, and how do you fit things in your given budget. Sometimes you have a meeting with the production for that. Like, you know, if they say 35, I be like 60. Then you come beach me 50. Then I'm like, okay, fine, you know, it's going to be really tight, but we'll figure it out. So there's a whole financial thing that goes around on the side, where you have to approve a costume budget. And once that's approved, you have a costume budget. You have me as a costume stylist, my salary, my fee for that particular ad. Then I have an assistant under me. I have dress men and, you know, and a tailor who I get on board for on shoot days, who will get paid a separate per day for them. So it's all financially separate. My fee separate, my assistant's fee separate, my costume budget separate, my dressman and tailor's money separate. So all of this is approved by the production, and that's only after that do we actually go on board and then do the meetings and the references, and, you know, getting work started and getting everything on board. Certain number of days are given. Sometimes we have 2 days, sometimes we have 3 days, and it's enough. Like we stylists, we create, like we can just, we have, because we work so much, we know who to contact when, even like your tailors and your designers and all know what's happening, and, you know, they will prioritize us and get things done and charge us for it accordingly. So, you know, like they'll be like, okay, guys, 15th is the ad. So then our meetings start from the 10th. You can say 10th we start working meetings. By 12th, the thing gets locked. So, and then like, we're like, okay, 14th, we have to do trials for the celebrities or the actors who are shooting. So we're like, okay, so we have like 12, 13, 2 days to get things ready. So those 2 days, we as stylists are running. Like morning, the shop's open, we are at the shop, we are slogging till the shops don't shut. We get our work done, we get it sorted by, you know, we have like callings and meetings and discussions, coordination with the production house, saying, okay, you know, 14, do it in the second half, because first half we are yet going to be running around, picking all the costumes from the tailors, picking up the footwear and the small things. Then you have your trials. Sometimes trials don't happen. Sometimes trials just happen directly on set. And then you have your shoot. Yeah, I mean, it's so hectic. It's such a fast life. Like
Yeah.
you're constantly on the run. You leave in the morning, you come back in the night. You know, for 3 4 days in ads. But The difference between ad and movies is ad is a short term thing. It's like 4 days and you're done. You know, the 4 days you shoot, you have a call time. If it's a 8 a.m. call time, we come at 7 o'clock. The lighting team comes way earlier. You come, you prepare, you get things ready, you shoot, you know, and it's like people sometimes feel like, ab kya kaam hai? Like there's so many times, you know, someone who's new here be like, yeah, but what do we do on set once we are given them the costume? It's all done, na? Like, no, there's so much on set as a stylist or as a costume designer. You have to look in the monitor. You have to see today, like, if my this sleeve, if it's crumpled like this on the big screen or on TV, it's going to be so visible. It's going to look shabby. Someone's button is open. Someone's tie is gone here and there. Earring has fallen off. There are so many things that are happening, but it's not like one take, okay, right? Like you get the actor ready, and then there's everything happening there. Your actors are there, your background juniors are there, you know, everyone's doing something or the other. Juniors sometimes they're like, okay, it's a sari. Suddenly the sari ka pallu is on their head, and we're like, guys. Then there's continuity. Yeah, like you know, you have to maintain continuity. If in your first shot, I'm wearing my watch in the left hand, suddenly in my next shot, I can't have it on my right wrist, right? Like so many times, if you see those YouTube videos and all videos where guys are like, you know, people are
They point
seeing
out the
errors,
mistake. Yeah, yeah.
mistakes. They're like, oh, you know, see, this was blue in color, suddenly how did it become green and all.
Oh,
So
but
all of that is
yeah,
a
is it also your job? I thought it was not the stylist, but maybe because
Who is
there's a
taking the
continuity
shot?
supervisor
yeah,
also
there is someone.
in the film and ad, but as a stylist it's my job too, right? Because I am giving you the clothes. You can't suddenly, if I have a collar like this collar, and then suddenly the next shot, right now I'm saying hi guys, suddenly the next shot I have the same t-shirt but the collar is missing. It's a Chinese collar.
Mm,
Of course it's a continuity supervisor's job to look into it, but it's also a stylist's job to give the correct thing and to
correct.
know ki, okay, what are we doing. So ads, okay, ads is a
And if
one
it's
day
like a
shoot.
multiple day, exactly what you were saying, right?
Correct.
If
So
it's a
that's where
multiple
the
day
difference
shoot,
comes. So
uh,
yeah, for ads, we on that ad is one day shoot, वो उधर ही खत्म हो जाता है, or a 2 day shoot max, where you
mm,
have to maintain the continuity. But so that's ad. But film is similar on a larger scale. You have production, you have set and all, and you have a what 200-page script. So like I'm shifting to movies now. So in movies, it's like when you get the script in hand, once you get locked, you have a contract with the production house that you sign, because it's like a 3 month contract or a 4 month contract that okay, Hasta, you know, from Jan to April, you're under Red Chilies or Love Films or Balaji or whichever production house. We sign a contract with that particular production house that okay, you hired me as a costume designer and I have an assistant. I have 4 assistants under me who have a contract as costume assistant. So there's a whole team that's created as a fashion stylist. For movies, we call ourselves costume designers. So there's a lot of designing that goes into it. We create a lot of outfits. Okay. So like we as designers, then you have to read the whole script. And if I'm working on a full film, then you from each and every minute junior, be it background, if you know if there's a specific scene where there's and then you see a beggar crossing, so even the beggar's costume, how the beggar is dressed, or there's a waiter serving, if it's a cafe scene, you have to make notes. Okay, it's a cafe, so obviously there'll be, you know, waiters, there'll be crowd, there'll be normally people roaming around. Or if it's a restaurant, you want to show a chef, or it's a police station, so then how many inspectors, how many, so then here's where
so
the
for all
direction
the
team comes.
characters in the movie, you designed, right?
Correct.
Not only for the
Each and
celeb.
every, yeah, so it also depends. In movies sometimes um their celebrities get their own designer or stylist, go like, you know, I'm comfortable with my designer and she will style me, so then
Mm,
someone else does the remaining film. So like
mm,
example, Pathan, just take Pathan as an example. If you see the credits, there are 3 costume designers. There's Shalina Nathani who does Shahrukh and Deepika, and she does them completely, be it films, be it red carpets. I love her. You know, so Shalina does there. Then there's Mamta Anand who did John specifically. So she's a costume designer for John in that. And then there was Niharika Jolly who did remaining people, the whole remaining film. So be it, you know, the other friends, or be it, you know, the teacher or the devil or whoever it was in the film, basically every other person in that, whatever you see in the screen, and if someone's wearing something, it is done by the costume designer.
It's crazy.
So
It's
yeah,
crazy.
like so films
Yeah.
are a way bigger scale where you have meetings with the direction team, you have assistant directors. I don't know if you're aware that ADs are there. So there's a costume AD who specifically is basically the mediator between what the director wants and the direction team wants and what the costume stylist is providing. So the AD is like the person who will also cross check your list and give you the list of okay, these are the requirements, the count. If today like if there's a script where there's a jail scene, so I police station scene. So I will write down, okay, it's a police station, so there'll be inspectors, inspectors, jailers, then prisoners. But the count is given to me by the assistant director. They'll come
Right.
up to me and be like, okay, as that three inspectors, two sub inspectors, three jailers, five prisoners. And then it's my responsibility to get those number of costumes and get it
Hmm.
approved. The director needs to approve of it. The Okay, small example, I assisted for Malang. Okay, I have
Here
assisted
comes
three,
the
four
example,
people.
right? I was just like waiting, right? The
Yeah,
plug-in
so
part of that, like which movie you were part of.
I have done, okay, I'll tell you, for 1 year of my life, when I initially started, when I was interning, I started off with Jacqueline's Casio ad, which was basically interning and assistant. So Tanya Gavri
Okay.
was the head stylist, her assistant was Meghna Sahajwani, and I was interning under Meghna. That's how
Mhm.
I started, and I did that project for free. It was an ad. And then Meghna started doing independent. She started heading Miss India organization. For almost a year, I was assisting Meghna for Miss India, where we did their whole red carpet looks, the
Okay, I
winners
was
car,
I was
all the
having a question, Harshita, right? So this
yeah.
also like maybe you can you are already answering it, right? How this industry looks like to you 5 years back, right? Because you are
Yes,
already explaining the complete picture of it with
correct.
after 5 years of experience. Maybe once as a fresher, you have completed your graduation in fashion styling, how this industry looks like to you, because it's really vast, right? Maybe you can cover
Yeah.
this as part of
Yes,
this.
it is. It's so vast, and there's so much apart from just this films and all that. The growth, okay, it's a very slow growth, honestly. Like, I'm being super honest. There are so many people who join thinking it's fashion and it's glam and like, celebrities, but there's a lot of slogging. There have been days where I haven't come home, or I've come home, but my parents have not seen me because I reach home at 2 in the night and I'm out by 7 in the morning again.
Just because
So
you
for
have to
them,
get those
I have a
dresses and all, right?
timeline. Correct. I have things that I
Mm.
need to work on and finish it on a deadline, and find something that matches my character or the vibe, or to keep, and make sure that the celebrity or the actor is happy, be it film, be it, you know, majorly I feel like films, like this is the difference wherein like your pressure in films is more. So the reason I choose ads and films is because I find my comfort there and I like that rush. There are some people who do not like doing movies because they find it really hectic. I
But
enjoy
did
the
you
hecticness.
like that hassle, right? You
I
coming
love
back
the
to
hassle.
home. Yeah,
I
okay.
love the
So,
hassle. I do
hmm,
cry about it. I will
hmm,
have my breakdowns with my friends, and I'm like, I can't do this.
You
On
should
set, I'll
hmm.
be crying.
you should be telling about those friends of yours in the shops in front of whom you're sitting.
Yeah, yeah, I have gone and cried. So I stay in Bandra, right? So all the nearby Bandra stores who I go to daily while I work, they all know me. So there are these breakdowns where I've had in the shops where I've just cried and saying, "Bhaiya, meko nahi karna, meko bas." And then I'm just like, I'm having these breakdowns and like they're my friends, and I'm like, I don't have time for anything, and I'll go and throw a tantrum in the shop. Specifically, this one shop who really know me really well. So at Hill Road, where I just go and sit and I go like 5 minutes, bhaiya, please just don't talk. And then they know, they just know it. They're like, you want water? They'll go get sugar cane for me. They'll go get sev puri from Elko Market for me. I'm giving them a shout out here, Riddhi store. But they do it not just for me, but they've also been a part of this industry for so long where they know that stylists come in and take stuff from them and they know how hectic it is, that they understand because they make stuff for us and they keep the store sometimes open. These guys helped us for lockdown, yeah, when we were working in the lockdown and stores had to be shut. We used to go under the like they used to lock it, we used to go from the backside. So all these shop people know how hectic our work is, be it fabric stores like Glance and all, also they all have kept it open. Please do not anyone from the government hear this and just be like come against me. But they know I've cried. I have,
Yeah, it's the
but
part
I
of the
miss
business.
it.
So
Yeah, and
basically,
I
right,
think everybody has their breakdowns.
so basically after the college, you liked the hustle, and you went through it,
Yeah,
and now 5 years
I
after,
loved it.
you are part of Malang. Let's come back to
Yeah, I'll
that.
come back to that. But like, my 1 year was a Miss India organization. And then I realized
Okay.
that I want to explore more. Like, I
Hmm.
don't want to be stuck to Miss India. So I left and then I joined Aisha Das Gupta. She's my mentor because she was the one who gave me that breakthrough. Like, I assisted her for Malang. So Aisha Das Gupta is my boss, and with whom I did like few ads. And I did a Cadbury ad with her. I did a ICICI Bank with ad with her, and then she got Malang, and she hired me on board as an assistant. And so I did Malang with her. I did a film called Cash, which is Vishesh Bhatt. It's on Hotstar. I did the Do You Love Me song of Disha, which is in Bagi 3 with her. And there was a senior assistant called Xenia. So, I did that with her. Then I did Equivalent Returns with Aisha. Then, because Aisha was on a break or she was not working, I switched a stylist. And then I just completed 2 films with these other head stylists called Gia and Malika, who are a team. And with them, I've done a Milan Luthia is a big director. He's done Once Upon a Time in Mumbai. So he's coming up with a Reliance Hotstar web show called Sultan of Delhi. So I finished that web show, and then I did another film right now with Nushrat Barucha. So this is
Hmm.
all everything that I've done.
So
Yeah, this
networking has really helped you, right, overall in
networking
this.
helps. Being good at
Hmm.
your work helps because industry is vast yet small. So
Hmm.
if I'm switching from one head stylist to another,
Hmm.
they know me, they've heard of me, or they will pick up the phone and ask about me. So today, if I example want to work with a Shalina, if Shalina Nathani today has you know a place for me, and she's like, I'm hiring, I'm looking for someone, and I go to her and I say, I've worked with Aisha Das Gupta, blah blah blah. So and she knows Aisha, they're friends because they were assistants at one point together. It's like that. So you grow together. It's vast but yet small. So then she can pick up the call and be like, okay, there's this girl called Harshita who's looking for work. Is she good? So how I have worked with Aisha will determine my future also with Shalina. So Aisha can turn around and be like, no, she's hardworking or she's good on set. These are her pros and these are her cons. And that's how you also get hired. Sometimes some people just trust you because they don't know anything about you and they go ahead and they see. So everything. So like the Malang example that I was giving you actually, that story, there was have you seen the film? Then the introduction scene you all must have seen where Aditya Roy Kapoor is tearing his prison outfit and going and having a fight sequence. So it was so hectic. I didn't go home for 2 nights. It was crazy. Me and a senior assistant stylist, her name is Shruti, we both had gone mad. We were just like, okay, you have to age it because the costume can't look fresh and new, right? Like you just stitched and garam, fresh, white, tagda nikla hai. You can't do that. It's a prison. You're showing that he's been in prison for months. So you have to age. We have this whole concept of chai pani and all of that is there. Okay, like we were just making the outfit look correct for the frame. And there's this sudden uh you have to get it approved with your DOP and the director. So small example, when you go to a dress wala and all, your prison outfits, have those blue lines that Kaidi
Mhm.
outfits have those black stripes
Hmm.
and the blue
Yeah.
stripes. They didn't want that. They're like, non looking, remove it. So suddenly there's this situation where everyone's stripping blue putties down the costume. There are like 120 Kedis that we've shown in the scene. There are 120 juniors who are going to come and wear it. And the dress walas have given us obviously with the blue stripe because that's a typical costume that people wear. Suddenly on set, we've reached like 2 days. We've taken it one day early, and one whole day our dressmen and tailors are just removing that putties. They're like, मैडम क्या कर दिया आपने, क्या दे दिया है, दिन रात बैठ के हम सब ये पट्टियां निकाल रहे हैं.
Oh
And
my
we're
Have you
like,
God.
returned
part and
those
parcel.
dresses back without that strip, or you again pasted those strips back to the dress?
Guys. And then the remaining we gave it back to them saying we are sorry. खुद कर लो.
Oh.
जो होना था हो
But
गया.
that's also because we have a good relation with the dress wala, or else
Okay.
obviously they would have charged us and been like, dude, you ruined our outfit. But that's
Exactly.
so like your connections, your rapport with everybody matter. today I can call up that dress wala and be like, खोलो खोलो मुझे कल सुबह 5 बजे का shoot है, मेरे को ये चाहिए. Or I can call that Hill Road shop where I've gone and cried and be like, please keep this ready for me. I am coming. So, you know, you also enjoy all of this. You have like a different rush. Me and that, like the whole concept of what I was saying, that whole chai pani and aging the outfits for Aditya Roy's action sequence, the intro scene. Me and my friend Shruti, we didn't go home. So basically, the outfits came, and because it's Aditya Roy, right, we cannot give him from a dress wala. So we stitched a fresh new outfit for him, which looked exactly like the outfit. And because the sequence was of him tearing it, if you'll see, he tears the shirt, rips the shirt apart, and then goes into action. So there's a whole technical thing that goes into it where we've attached Velcro. He's not actually tearing the t-shirt. It's not possible. Either the material has to be thin and we have to give a cut and all. So there's an action director. So he turned around one day before and says, guys, Harshita, tomorrow is action sequence for Adi. Okay? We were like, yes, sir. एक काम करो, उसका ना multiples बनाओ costume का. This is what he said. Make multiples of the costume. And I think 2 costumes will be enough. Multiples like 1 plus 2. So total 3 shirts. And add Velcro on it. So he'll do this. Will look like the shirt has ripped. And then we'll put the Velcro back and we'll keep, taking takes again. So we were like, okay, great. We've gone to the direction team. We've been like, guys, three shirts. We're going to go get it made and everything. Great. We made 3, no? We made 5 shirts. We are like extra. Because as stylists, with the experience and all, you also learn you have to be better safe than sorry. Just don't go exact. You might, repent it later. So we made 5 Velcro, those t-shirts. And suddenly it's come at 12 in the night, okay? And then we realized that we have to age all of that. So we were shooting in Ville Parle. There's this golden tobacco factory karke there. So me and the other assistants, we all have come back home. We've called up the dressman and said, Dada, आप लोग प्लीज रात को वो सारे आउटफिट्स चाय पानी कर लेना, make age it and then keep it for drying because we are shooting at 8 in the morning the next day. We've entered home at 1 o'clock. Guys, you all won't believe I've entered home at 1 o'clock. We were shooting that day at Golden Tobacco only. We were shooting. We finished shooting. We've gone back home. I've gone for a shower. I've just sat to eat dinner at 1 o'clock in the night. I've sat. I'm like, finally dinner. I'm eating, and that Shruti calls me saying, Harshita, the dress dadas are not picking up the phone call. And we're like, what? And everyone's so tired that we were just like, have they gone off to sleep? And we're like, we can't afford this because we cannot go in the morning at 7 o'clock and then start preparing things for a 8 o'clock roll time. I was like, shoot starts at 8. What do we do? And we're like, okay, what do we do? What do we do? No one's picking up. Then the dadas picked up the call and they were just like, ma'am, we are here, but the production का जो spot है जिनके truck में हमारे costumes है, वो आदमी नहीं मिल रहा है. And we're like, what is happening at 1:30 in the night? We were going mad. We were just like, find him, call him. That spot dada had gone off to sleep in the truck because he was so tired and kept his phone on charge somewhere else. So there's this whole tamasha that is happening in Ville Parle. I'm in Bandra. That senior assistant is in Andheri. We've gone like, leave the food. Bhaad mein gaye khana. Work is important. She said, Harshita, I will get inductor. I said, okay, I will get pateli and chai. Okay, you get chai from your house too. We'll do it. We'll go. Let's go there because we can't sit here. We were so anxious and that's the dedication we as stylists also, people who love their job basically have. Some people would have been like, bro, that's it. I was shooting since 7 in the morning till 1 in the night. I've just got home. This is not my lookout anymore. There are some people who are like that. And then there are some people who are crazy like me and my friends and all of us, who are my bosses, who will love our job so much that we're just like, no, we cannot afford for a shoot tomorrow to go wrong. Get up. 1:30, I've left home. Imagine half an hour. I was inside my house only for half an hour. 1:30, I'm out. 2 o'clock, I'm on shoot set. Till then the dressman have found that spot dada, removed the clothes, started. Luckily they had that big gas and all of that. So we were like, great. Our patelis and our inductors. But can you imagine, like, we were just like something better than nothing. That rush of getting the work done. We were like, we'll get stuff from our house, yeah. We'll figure it out. Bhali, it will take us 10 times more time, but at least work will start. And that whole night, Shruti and I have spent at Golden Tobacco Factory that night till just dipping the bloody clothes in chai pani, that garam pani, making sure it stays, it's maintained, and then we have to dry it. And it's rainy season. We were shooting during rains. So it's only raining. It's not like sun is coming out and our outfits are going to dry. It's in the middle of the night where it's raining, clothes are going to get wet. Where do we dry this? So there's hair dryers that have come out. Then there's the generators, truck generators. We've started that. We begged them saying, Jenny chalu kar do, please. And the heat of the the hawa that comes out of the Jenny is so hot that our costumes were drying there. We didn't go home. None of us went home. We had 7 o'clock. We had to reach Adi's house for trials of his costume, and 8 o'clock we had to be on set with him. 6:55, we have left Golden Tobacco to reach Adi's house at 7 o'clock,
Oh
which is
my
impossible.
God.
My boss has called us up and saying, guys, where are you all? I'm below Adi's house. Like 15 minutes, 15 minutes. We're sorry, we're just leaving. Like, okay, guys, relax, relax. And she also knew, like Aisha also knew what's happening, and
Yeah.
and then she didn't know we were there the whole night. And she was just like, we told her on call, and she's like, what, you guys? And we were like, yeah, we didn't have an option. Like, wait, come. We've gone to Adi's house. We've done the trials. And then we've left and gone back to set and we shot. Now, the funny part is, remember I told you all 5 Velcro shirts, correct?
Yes,
For
yes.
Adi, that tear. First shot has started. He's torn it. He's torn it not in a way that the Velcro comes out, but in a way that the t-shirt is into 5 different pieces. Like, he's a good-looking bodybuilder, guys. What do I say? He's
Yeah,
ripped it up
of course.
in every way possible. And we were like, oh shit, ye to gaya. We were like, we can't reuse this. We're like, okay, we're left with 4 or
Four.
3 or whatever. And it was a one sequence shot. So if you all have seen the film, it's like he starts from one point and he's walking, rips it, and then goes ahead and then goes into the fight, and then the fight is so it's
Yeah.
a one sequence full, like it's a one camera shot. Like
Hmm.
the first 2 minutes is just one go. And we're like, oh shit, guys. So in like 10 minutes, our all 5 t-shirts were ripped. So when we reached the second t-shirt, we were like, guys, the take has not been okayed. We finished 3 shots. He's going to do this. This is going to take us 1 hour more for this shot to get okay. We do not have 20 t-shirts. They're like, what do we do? We've called for fabric, we've arranged fabric, we used the junior wala fabric, started cutting it. There was this whole situation where the last t-shirt has torn, and Mohit sir, the director, is waiting on set, going like, "Dusra t-shirt lao," and we're like, "It's getting stitched." We're like, "What do we do?" Then suddenly there's this whole teamwork happening where obviously we don't want the directors and the heads and all to know. So the ADs and we as costume assistants are all like managing, figuring it out, going to Adi and telling him in his ears, like, this is what has happened. And finally ending up telling the director that, sir, give us 20 minutes, we're making the costume now. So so literally now there was a situation where the first t-shirt, 5 t-shirts were torn. Before every take now, a new t-shirt is getting stitched and full speed. The tailor is going tar, 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 the dress dada is going jaldi karo, one dress dada is cutting. We are sitting on their head, and like our costume base was at one corner and the shoot was happening like in a 2 minutes walk in the different building. So there's a situation where there's a chain created from set to costume base with 5-6 people standing on the way, and people are throwing it. They're like, catch, run, catch, ban gaya, chalo, go. And when you cut, and every time Sir said cut, you're like, oh, is the second costume ready? Is the new costume ready? And we were praying. Like that half an hour, we were praying to God that Adi, please just do a shot which Sir says okay. So we don't have to keep making and having this rush and going mad.
Oh my God,
So
that's
there's a
Oh,
lot.
that's a lot of pressure. I think that's even more pressure
Yeah,
than the on-calls, Mayank, that you have as a
probably.
software engineer.
There's a lot of stress.
on call is manageable now. मतलब I can easily do it. मतलब
Yeah,
my
but
week
Yeah,
of
yeah,
work, what I felt hectic is not at all hectic now.
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Maybe
Now,
I should work for a movie for a year, right?
Try, genuinely,
That
guys, try. You
that
will go mad.
get to the
You guys will
reality.
go mad. There's so much. And people are not aware till the time you don't do it. And I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong. Okay, today whatever job you all do, I'm not aware of the in-depths of it. I do not know what all goes into it, how hectic it is for you. So every work profile has a different kind of hecticness or a different kind of things. It's up to the person who, if they enjoy it, they'll do it. I love my job. So see, today I'm talking about all the hectic things in a fun and good way. I miss it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I talked to Shruti and I was like, dude, you remember those days? Like, it's all a learning experience. It's all
Yes.
just fun memories for us. And trust me, when I take that 1 week break, if I'm done with a film that has gone on for 4 months, then suddenly I'm just like, 1 week की तो छुट्टी चाहिए मुझे because 4 महीना मैंने ऐसे slog किया है. So I'm like, I need this 1 week. Suddenly after 4 days, I miss it. I'm just like, you know what? I want to do another project. I'll start calling. I'll be like, guys, let's work, let's do something, let's join a different project. So that break is necessary. But if you really love your work now, you will want to go back to it.
That's true.
And I want to go back to it. Everybody who loves being a fashion stylist or a costume designer cannot sit idle at home. Trust me when I say it, we all go mad sitting at home. If I enter that shop after 2 weeks now, the shopkeepers will be like, "Aap kidhar the? Kya ho gaya? Chutti manane gaye the?" It's like that. It's like because they see us so often and they know how hectic it is that, after you're done with your break, you want to go back to that hectic life. And even though I cry about it, I don't cry in a way that I don't want to do this. I just cry because it's so hectic and it's so, sometimes you're just tired
Just letting
because
out
you're
the
Makes sense.
emotions and whatever is inside.
correct.
Yeah.
You're just releasing that whole energy of being tired and having that stress because there are people sitting on your head and driving you nuts and you can't find something. So you're just having like this breakdown. But it doesn't mean you don't want to do it. I will have that breakdown and I'll go back and be like, okay, you know what? Now I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
It's
makes
like
sense.
that.
The work doesn't feel like it, right? When once you start liking it or loving it, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
exhausting, but you love it. So
Doable.
you're
Okay.
happy doing
So
it.
So I think we've covered most of the topics that I wanted to ask. Even before asking the question, Ashita, you answered the question. So that's
Yeah,
really
because I
good.
keep talking.
we need
Really
to
good.
plug in the
So it's
question.
like
Answers were
I
already
can
there.
answer questions that
Yeah.
y'all haven't even asked
Even
right
asked
now.
that's what I will
About
be able to put in questions there.
yeah, like what are the stages? Then I can start talking about internship, fourth assistant, third assistant, second assistant, first assistant, and then becoming independent. There's a lot that goes into it.
So which
Yep.
ones? Okay, I think we'll just ask you, Ashita. Which ones do you want us to cover
Huh.
mainly? So a few ones.
I can
First
keep
is
talking, guys. You can cover everything.
अरे नहीं यार.
So basically,
Then you all
what I
edit
want
it.
is
Then you all
right.
sit and do the
Basically,
cutting that okay, where is she talking rubbish? Cut wherever she's
no,
talking
no,
makes sense.
नहीं यार.
we will not do that.
Everything
All is
everything
meaningful
was
and
really
valuable.
meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, two questions that comes to it, right? I think
Yeah.
how can someone start and get into fashion styling? I think you have covered it a little bit, but maybe more focused answer over here. And
Yeah.
how someone can identify interest in this particular field, what all small things they can do. So you
Okay,
can
so how
answer.
you get into it? Honestly, it was a struggle for me also. So the good point for me was that I got my diploma in styling, right? Like I studied in fashion. So your fashion colleges help you with your internships, which is a great help. Might not be beneficial in, you might feel it's not beneficial at that moment, but it's a push. They
How
give
someone
you
can get into those degrees, right?
correct, like
What
how in our
exactly?
engineering
Uh,
and all they give you the placements. हमारे जो
yeah,
placements
yeah,
होते हैं
that is
engineering में.
fine, right? But how to get into the college? What is the prereq in 11th and 12th? What you need to do? Yeah,
I got
is there
into it even
any?
after doing science. I got into it even after doing science.
Yeah. So
So
basically, there
there's
is
nothing
no
like,
such
yeah,
criteria.
there's no such criteria. But like from where I got my diploma, there it was just like, getting in and paying the certain fee amount and all of that. But like a NIFT,
Hmm.
they have a whole different exam ball game together. They have 3 stages of exams. You have to clear it and all. Your interests, everything. So getting into fashion colleges has a whole different story only, wherein like they don't look at marks, they see your
Hmm.
creativity more, and they have different exams like um ISD and all these fashion colleges have their separate exams where they see your IQ level, your creativity levels and all, and then you get into those colleges. So I, before getting into my fad college, actually gave my ISD exam, Pearl exam, NIFT exam. I got into ISD and Pearl. I did not get into NIFT. uh and NIFT is all India. It's like you guys are aware about NIFT. So like uh that's then, and like there are these fashion Institute of Americano and my fad and all of that that take you on your interview basis, and they see where your interest lies, and they talk to you, and if the depending on the seats available, you get your. So you start off like that. You get into a fashion college. Symbiosis in Pune has like a 3-year fashion degree, and that those 4 years and all, like NIFT and all these other colleges. I did a diploma, so mine was only a year. But this 4 years wala is all these other entry exams that you give when you go into that, and you learn way more. The reason I didn't do 4 years is because personally I was scared that I'm losing out on time because I wasted 3 years in engineering. So suddenly for me, age was a factor, starting work was a factor, and I was just like, I don't want to not say waste, but uh, do 4 years of fashion education and then start. And because I'd done my homework of what I want to do and how it starts and all, I knew that you have to start from internship from scratch. So I'm like, if I do 4 years now, for me, it's going to be as a stylist, okay, there are many people who come into the styling industry without having a fashion degree and really succeed. And it's okay. That opportunity here is given to you because you start from scratch as an intern. But having a fashion degree is always beneficial because your creativity is better. You have more knowledge about what's trending and your colors, your palette and all. That's exactly why I did my diploma from a fashion college, because I'm like, I am going to educate myself in for the fashion industry. So that's how you get into the college. You start depending on what you think is right as a stylist, or not in in fashion, in any other fashion field, communication, writing, marketing, everything. And then you have to actually start trying. From your college you get those internship opportunities. Or for me, I started emailing all the big stylists. They have their work profiles, they have their work email IDs. Instagram pe I started. Social media is a big thing today. So Instagram DMs, I used to write a professional message, send it across to everybody, saying, I'm looking for internship, I would love to work with you and all. Sometimes they see it, sometimes they don't see it, sometimes it gets skipped, sometimes you do get a revert. Sometimes it's just okay because for me it happened that I was in the fashion college, and in my friend circle, everybody else started getting internships and I didn't. I was among the last people to get internships, and I was really stressing. I'm like, am I doing something wrong here? Is my messages not correct? And then suddenly there was this girl classmate who said, I'm already interning somewhere else and I've gotten a call for another internship. Do you want to do it? I said, of course. So that's how I got my first boss, Meghna, who I got in touch with. And then, she hired me. And once she hires, then it's word of mouth. Once you
Yep.
get into it, then you're in the industry. So in Miss India, like all the bosses and all, when Meghna wasn't there and I was doing it, they saw me. Then, or like you can say the Mr. India or the other Miss Indias and all, if they had some other events that they had to go to, and Miss India organization was not styling them, and they could not afford Meghna, who was my boss back then, because they thought she's expensive. Because I was new and I was interning, I had a bond with them because I worked with them, where they would be like, would you style us on collaborative basis for free? So you actually start from scratch. I started off with 0 rupees, where I was interning for free for I think 1.5 months. Then because Meghna saw how well I work and she praised me, she said, you're really hardworking and you really do the job well. And then they have seen other assistants who are not that great or have this bratty attitude or this behavior where they go like, this is not going to last. So they acknowledge and you appreciate in this industry that, okay, this person is good and she deserves, and then you start getting stipend amount. So I actually started from a 0 to a 5,000. And then over the 5 years, I've gone from a 0 to a 5 to a 10 to a 15 to a 20, 25, 45, 50, 70, 80, 90, and so on. Like, the first assistant gets. Also, there are a lot of people who do not talk about money. They're not comfortable with the idea of talking about salaries and money, which was a difficult point for me because I was new, right? So I was blank. So when I got the internship, I was scared. I was like, is not getting anything okay? Is she fooling me? Then getting stipend 5,000, I was like, is this okay? So there are some people, so that's why today, if anybody comes up to me now and today asks me that, Harshita, how much do you think I should get paid? I'm just starting. Or, oh, Hasta, I'm joining in as a third assistant. How much do you think? I've done this before. I am always honest about money because I feel like I suffered. Not suffered, but I felt lost in
You
my
have gone
initial
through it,
years.
right? So you know it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct. So for me, I was just like, I'm not asking because I want to be a competitor and earn more than you, but I was actually asking so that I know that I'm not undercharging or I'm not going wrong or someone's not misusing my, me being innocent about this and not having much education in this line. So
makes
it
sense.
starts off with very basic, and you have to slog. You have to prove that you can survive this hecticness. So many people, join. I've seen, like, I'm talking with experience where I've seen people who think getting into styling is glamorous and fashion, and oh my God, I'll walk in and like, you have to wear this, and they'll wear and walk out. It's not that. I have cleaned shoes. I have gone at 2 in the night. What I said, I've done all of that. I'm ready with chai and patilas to get my costumes ready. Even be it celebrities and all, you have jumbos and suitcases. It's not like today I can go to my actor for his or her red carpet with one costume and be like, you have to wear this. Take. This is your look. That doesn't work. Today, when you go shopping, you also try 4, 5 things, right? If you enter a mall, you're seeing and then you choose the best one. So as a stylist, when I'm styling celebrities, also I need to take everything with me. So I have like one suitcase filled with shoes, one suitcase filled, one bag filled with jewelry, and then two suitcases filled with costumes. So it's a lot, and I am taking it all by myself. It's not like, oh, I'm getting paid separately to hire a coolie or a boy who will pick everything up for me. So there are days where I have like jumbos and jumbos on in my hand from here to here, and walking where like it's very funny, but random people on the road when I'm walking on the road have stopped and be like, do you want help? Because they're like, dude, this girl is carrying 10 bags and she's wobbling. She's just trying to. So it's not all glamorous. And you're supposed to be okay with it. If you're okay with the idea of slogging and working hard and not being like, oh my God, I to come from this family or I have bhaiyas to do all of this and all. If you have that attitude, you can't last long. Like I've had examples of interns and all have breakdowns and crying saying, oh, I didn't think this was, in the on shoot sets and all that. I don't want to do this. Or someone who joined and then suddenly be like, no, no, I don't want to do this. I rather become an AD. Who's going to slog so much? So there's a lot of slogging, but if you really love your job now, at the end of the day, I feel like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me today that I have to go into a van and pick up someone's socks and shoes. There are a lot of actors who are, they're very chivalrous and be like, no, 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 you're a girl, or like, there are dressmen to do this, don't pick up my shoes, and I will wear the shoes on my own. No, 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 how can you tie my shoelaces? There are people who come from that background, but there are also some people who come from the background of, acha, okay, it's her job. She's making me, not in like an attitude way, but in a normal way that she's doing her job. She's helping me wear my shoes. So as a stylist, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with buttoning shirts and making you wear your socks if you're, because one side makeup is going on, one side hair is getting done. So when the actor sometimes is in a fix, he's like, how do I wear this? Like, okay, they're ready for me. They're ready for me. I have to rush. And everyone, there are like 4 people sitting on the actor's head. Someone's doing hair, someone's doing makeup, someone's fixing something. And then costume is coming in the way. So many times it's just faster work. You have to be okay with all of that. After the costumes been come out, something like, oh my God, no, it has sweat. So, oh my God, like a dirty costume. If the scene was of you're rolling in mud, I'm okay. I will take that costume, dip it in mud, and give it to you. Saying wear it. So there's a lot that goes on. So many people leave. Honestly, I've seen so many stylists or interns who join thinking because everybody has such a wrong perspective or a different perspective towards costume designing or fashion styling that when they actually see the reality of it, they can't do it and then they leave. So,
Yeah, I think one more
like,
point
there's
over
a
here
lot.
I
is,
think
yeah, I
we
think one
get
more
it.
point is
Yeah.
about the financial aspect of it, right? That might also be a reason why
One
many
sec, I
people.
can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, better. I think my AirPods battery died. That's how much we spoke, guys.
Oh my
No,
God.
no.
Okay, so I was asking that you spoke about people leaving or interns leaving, and you also mentioned about how small you start and you keep growing, right? So is financial aspect of it also why people leave? If you could talk a bit about that.
Yeah. There is. People think that they'll start and they'll start earning a lot and everything. It's not. Honestly, I think it's difficult. And personal opinion, this is completely my opinion, that people can disagree to it. People can think that, otherwise. But I feel like to become a stylist, it's always better if you have a financial background. Just a personal opinion, because you start off scratch, right? Like today, I've seen people who face difficulties who come from a different city and are staying on rent here and then join the fashion industry. And you don't get money on time, also, a lot of times. Because it's like, if today was my shoot, then they'll pay me a month later. Or because of some production issues, it gets a little delayed. It's not like anyone's running away with my money. No one does that. But there are delays. So if today I am prepared that, okay, my November salary is going to come to me by December 14th, and it's Jan 14th and it's not come. I come from a financial background where I can survive. So I'm okay. It's annoying and I will fight with the production house. That's a different story. But what about the people who can't afford? For me, if I was someone who came from, like, I have a rent to pay, I have my food that I have to, pay my maid and all. If I'm not from Mumbai, I've come from Rajasthan or Udaipur or whatever, and I'm here, I'm staying on rent. I want to be financially independent, right? Like how long will I depend on my parents? And can my parents afford, my lifestyle in Mumbai currently, where I'm a stylist and I'm hardly getting paid, and if whatever I'm getting paid is getting delayed. So mentally, if I prepare that, okay, my November salary will come by December 14th, and then I'll pay the rent by 15th, and then I'll go for grocery shopping, and suddenly that money doesn't come, what do you do? So people have faced those issues also, and there are people who have gone back to their hometown because they're just like, we can't survive here like this because the money issue is so tight. Yes, eventually over the years, today after 5 years, I am earning a certain amount which I'm happy with. But today, if that also gets delayed, because I come from a background where my parents can support me, I don't have a problem with that money coming to me 10 days late. But I feel like there are so many people, because for us it's not a 9 to 5 job, right? We are not on monthly basis salary, wherein, like, हाँ ठीक है 2 तारीख को salary आ जाती है. We are freelancers. So freelancers have this, there are pros and cons of being a freelancer. Sometimes you'll be sitting waiting for work, and sometimes you're filled with work. And then these pros and cons of salary coming late or salary coming on time, not getting how much as you expect, beginning from scratch, starting from zero, taking so many years to reach a level where you want to reach. And obviously, after 5 years, if I'm at a certain amount, I want to grow more in the years ahead. It's not like, okay, chalo, 5 saal ho gaye, iske baad I have my, like, this is where I'm going to stand and this is how I'm going to earn lifelong now. It's always growth, and, it's just freelancing, it's just pros and cons. Lot of pros and lots of cons equally.
Yeah, I think I completely agree to it, right? Matlab, sometimes it happens in the beginning, people left few of the jobs or careers just because of they imagining that they will get highly paid at
Correct.
particular work that, but it's not so, right? Matlab, even in the field of
Yeah.
work that I've started in, matlab, it's not so
When I
that,
was
right?
in college, I told Nishant this when we were talking on call, that when I was in my fashion college, um, I was one of those good students. So the teachers used to tell me to, when there are freshers coming in or someone who wants to join the college, so they make you meet the current students, saying, speak to them, they'll tell you their experience and all. So there's this girl who walked in, and the teacher called me out of the classroom and said, speak to her. She wants to join our course and all, and tell her what you like and what you don't like and clear her doubts and all. I could see that that girl was nervous. She'd come with her parents. And for me, right, because I'd started interning and I'd seen the whole process. And obviously, while my college was really good in teaching me, they gave very practical and realistic situations. So I knew everything. Oh, she turned around and told me that she's leaving her 9 to 5 job to become a stylist. She said
Yeah.
that she's getting paid a certain amount and she's really happy with the money that she's getting, but she's not happy doing that job. So I was also in a fix first, because I'm like, I was in that motto of do what you love what you do. Because I was like, oh, if you don't enjoy, oh, you should totally leave it. Do what you love. Oh, are you sure you love fashion? Go for it, do it. But then there was this other side of me that also cross-questioned her and went like, are you okay leaving the money that you're earning? Because
Yeah,
you will have
that,
to start from scratch.
yes.
If you're earning, rough example, 60,000, okay, a month, just a random amount, you will come back down to a zero. Are
Yes.
you okay with that? And then I also asked her, she said, yeah, I think, then I saw that she was getting a little like, oh shit, am I doing the correct thing? Because then money came into the picture. Then I was like, you know what, I'm not trying to scare you, but are you okay with, having this hectic life? And this is how your life is, whatever I've told her about how hectic things are. I gave her like a brief story and I told her this is how it actually is. And then I just told her, you know what, if you're joining this thinking it's a glam world where you're going to be chilling with actors and celebrities and becoming their BFFs and partying and just giving them outfits, being like, oh, wear this and going shopping and just picking up things, it's not that. I saw the face expression changed.
Yeah.
That is when I knew that she's joining because she thinks life is easy here. And she thinks that it's going to be easier than a 9 to 5 job. And then getting that reality check, that's a different story that my college doesn't know I spoke to her like this. They would have probably disowned me and been like, bro,
Or removed
students
you
laane
from that
de.
council, council where.
Yeah, you had to convince her to join college, not be a part of this. But for me, I was just being realistic because when someone says now that they're leaving something, and plus for me, I also knew now because I left engineering now. So for me, I was just like, leave it for the right reasons. Do not regret leaving. I don't regret it. Touch wood, good for me. But are you sure what you're doing? Have you
Yes.
done your homework like I did? I did my homework, and how? I went through counseling. I told Nishant, where like the counselor told my mom that she's going through a divorce with engineering. Divorce. The word divorce was used. Where they said she's not gonna go back. She's done. She's done. That is how sure she is. I convinced my counselor that I know my plan of action, and any counter question she had, I had an answer to it. That is
Maybe
how well
you
I've done
were
my.
exactly. You well prepared your questions
Yeah, I had
beforehand and
before
thought,
leaving engineering also, I had picked up phones and spoken to stylists, like friend stylists and all. I'm like, okay, tell me what happens. Tell me. So everything that I'm telling you all now after work experience was told to me before I joined the industry because they, as senior assistants and stylists, had that experience and they prepared. They were like, Arshita, this is what it is. Are you ready for it? And I said, yeah, I'm ready. So
yeah,
anytime I had to convince someone else, I knew it. Where other people, I think, lag is they don't do this homework. So do your
yes,
homework. Pick up the phone and call different stylists. Get in touch. I had put in DMs on Instagram saying, I want to get into this line. Help me, educate me. I became Besharam. I did not feel any shame that, oh my God, what will they think? I was like, no, I'm not educated about this. I want to be sure before I change my career path. So some people really enjoy it and get into it. Some people have that financial backings that they can continue it and then grow. Some people leave because they don't. Some people survive somehow and then become successful. Good in
yes.
networking, good in socializing, good in their work, people seeing recommendations. All of it comes into the picture.
Yes. So Harshita, would you like to add like about your upcoming projects and also maybe on a funny
Guys,
note,
I'm on a 1 week
with some
break.
amazing stories, right? With these celebs, any of the incidents you
Yeah,
want
we,
to?
we we want some Bollywood gossip, Harshita. That's the
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't know if I should say it out here. I don't know how many people are going to see this.
point. Don't worry, we'll send it to a few Bollywood actors. That is not one, but okay.
No, yeah, there's no gossip as such, and being professional is one good thing that you don't interfere in their personal life. And
Yeah.
even if you know, you don't talk about it. So I'm
Off
not going to talk
off the
about it here.
camera. Off the camera, but
Yeah,
yeah.
stop your recording, then I'll talk. But nothing like that, yeah, guys. Like it's all work-wise, it's all great, and drama is everywhere. Politics is everywhere. Even in your job, in your wherever you all are working, there's politics. I realized that there's politics, there's drama happening everywhere. It's just Bollywood being Bollywood comes out in the limelight more. Other dramas like your industry, your work profile drama stays in their confined office. Here it's just out in the public. And
Yeah.
yeah, like if you want like actor gossips, then different actors have different kind of behaviors. Some actually throw a tantrum. some are assholes, some are really sweet. So it all depends which actor you're working with, and like, touch wood, whoever I've worked with, I love them. They've always been nice to me. I've not gotten anyone who's thrown a different fit. Like, okay, if you want like I can give stories in the good way where the actor looks good. So even if ever it reaches them, they'll be like, oh great, Harshita's praising us. So like I'll give you Malang example only.
Yeah.
Or even villain. Like I was handling Arjun Kapoor. What a gem. I know, okay guys, today that he gets a lot of hate for his acting. There's a lot of bashing saying, Arey, you know, you're in this industry because of your father and whatever. He's taken it with a pinch of salt, and I love him for that. Honestly, like John, I love John. I loved working with John. I loved working with Arjun because you know I worked with both of them. The other senior assistants were looking into Tara and Disha and all of that, but I handled, you know, me and this other assistant Shruti, who I worked with in Malang also. We did Arjun and John together. So one-on-one interactions, loved both of them, but because I was more with Arjun, I became a fan. So down to earth and so nice to talk to, so chivalrous. The man, he knows what he's doing, he knows what he's saying. The way you talk, like, you know, like, so what if she's an assistant? The way you handle and knowing, you know, what is her job, what is not her job, what a dressman should do. I I was a fan, like, just the way the actor talks to you and treats you, makes a lot of difference. And the way they know that you're doing your job, you're not like a slave here. You are here as a stylist getting him ready. So, and being understanding, you know, like understanding a situation that, sir, I'm sorry, like, you know, like this shoe is a little, it got wet in the rain or something happened, or your action sequence, so it might be a little tight. So how he reacted, how he understood, I was just like, wow. I was just like, dude, I'm a fan. I have never been a fan and all of that, but I really, truly have a lot of respect for him or all the actors that I've worked with. But soft corner for Arjun Kapoor. And people go like, why Arjun? I'm like, just work with him and see. I was a die-hard Varun Dhawan fan during college, and I've never worked with him, but apparently he's also really nice to work to. I know that, you know, just how you work. Like today, if there's someone who throws a tantrum and attitude, I will tolerate it. It's my job. I will take it. But you know, this praises won't come out. I'll be like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, yes, I've worked with him or her or whatever. But it really matters how the celebrity behaves with his own team. Be it your hair, be it makeup, be it me as a stylist entering your van, the way you treat me, the way you greet me, the way, you know, you are, how you understand human errors, all of it. Adi in Malang, sweet. ठीक है, he's Adi, dude. He's good looking. He's hot. So he had his little tantrums where, like, you know, like fun situations where, like, I used to walk into his van and he's be like, Harshita, like a typical Adi way of talking. He's be like, you think or what? I'm like, what? And in my head, I'm bali, Arey yaar, like, you know, Adi, and like, I'm like, oh my god, I need to call my boss and tell her come into the van. Adi's going to throw a tantrum. I know it, and I don't know what to do about this. But like you, but it's all in a fun way. There's no disrespect. Like
Yeah.
he'll be like, so this ganji that you're saying, see, I got 3 ganjis from home. You think we should wear this? I'm like, Adi, no. You know, we made this, the fabric, the feel, the look of it, everything, and I'm just like, please God, do not put me in this trap. But like, you know how he talks and how he is, and it's just like, but see now, this is a Jordan Ganji. I'm like, Adi, no, please. Then suddenly there's this convincing happening where, you know, it's like, just trust us, just trust the process. And we're like, Adi, please. And then there's a little bit of buttering that starts. That you look so hot in it, na Adi. Like, just try it, na, just wear it. And then like there was the DA was there, and he was in the van, and then you know, they're just like being actors. They're like, Acha, what do you think to the other ADs and the DAs? And I'm like nudging them from the back and saying, if you say anything else apart from my costume, I will kill you. You wait, meet me outside the van. So, you know, there's like all these fun situations that are going on, and like it's all fun, yeah. So, like, love working with like actors who respect you and, you know, value your work.
Yeah.
It's a different experience. Every, like, you miss
Yes.
going on set. You enjoy working with them.
Yep.
Like
Yes.
Malang,
So
I
in
was handling Kunal Khemu.
Mm-hmm.
And Bichara, he had only two costumes, his present look and his past look, okay? If you all have seen the film, there's past where he was wearing the hoodie and all, where he goes to attack Disha, and present is his cop, that green shirt and all. So we were shooting in Goa. I had gone to Goa, I think a week later from the team. And Kunal was also shooting a week later. So Kunal and I, we all reached at the same time. And we were like, okay, his costume was set. We did the trials. Now I had to get him his shoes for that particular outfit. And he said, guys, get the options. I'll select, no stress. Very understanding actor. I love that man. I'm telling you, Arjun Kapoor, Kunal Khemu, after working with them, the respect I have for them now is a different level. They're so down to earth because, you know, okay, I'll tell you all this one statement later. I'll stick to the story first. So in Goa, we called for 4-5 shoe options from Nike.
Hmm.
And I took it in his van. I showed him all the options. He selected one. Now, I was under the impression that I've left the selected shoes in his van. And the Nike store person was waiting for me, outside the costume base. And I gave him the other shoes. I paid for the shoe that got selected. And I'm like, okay, sorted. The shoe is in his van and all. He's chilling in his van. 1 hour ho gaya, khatam ho gaya sab. I'm eating dinner. Shoot is started. Everything is happening. Suddenly, the direction team pages on the walkie and goes like, Harshita, 15 minutes for Khemu, and then he walks to set. I said, cool. So I enter his van saying, sir, chalo, change, get ready and all. He's changed and he's just like, Harshita, shoes. I'm like, yeah, so under the sofa. Now I bend, I go under the sofa and I'm like, no shoes. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, did I return it? I'm like, no, okay, I know. I call up the Nike people. I'm like, how many shoes did I give you back? They're like, ma'am, we got you 5, you gave 4, you paid for 1. I'm like, yeah, I know, I counted while giving it to you. So there's this whole stress happening where there's 15 minutes left and now there's 10 minutes left and I don't know where Kunal Khemu's shoes is, and it's not like I've forgotten it in Bombay or it's in costume, because I'm like, I just bought it. Like, I bought it from Nike Goa. You came to my costume base, you came to base and gave it to me. And then like I'm in tears and I'm just like, oh my god, what do I do? And then all the spot and all the dinner people who were serving food have seen me, and I'm just like stressing. I've made all the calls, trying to hide it and making just find it. Then suddenly some person from the dinner people have said, अरे मैम, आपको एक जूते का डब्बा इधर चेयर पे भूल के गए थे जब आप बाकी 4 डब्बे लौटाने गए, तो आप इसी चेयर पे भूले. And I'm like, oh shit, I didn't leave it in the van. I left it outside the van on a chair. And because I was under the impression that I've left it in the van, I didn't come back to pick up that box. Then through via getting the information that some random person has picked up the shoebox. Then a friend of mine who was in my team said, oh, I saw the shoebox in a man's hand, but I thought it's an empty shoebox, and he threw it in the bin. And I was just like, what are you telling me? My Nike shoes are in the bin. Guys, I've gone hunted dustbins in Goa, in the surrounding. I'm like, please, somewhere my shoes couldn't find. 2 minutes, they're like, we're ready for Kunal. Kunal needs to walk. I've entered his van with tears in my eyes. And like, I was controlling. I was just like, I am gone. That man, oh my god, guys, that man. He's looked at me and said, what happened? I said, sir, I've said this. I said, sir, I'm really sorry. Please don't be mad at me. I lost your shoes. I can't find it. He was so calm. He said, it's okay. Now what are we going to do about it? Let's find a solution. Rather than getting mad, getting angry, how can you do this? I'm not going to wear anything else. He saw that, this girl is scared. This girl doesn't know what to do. And she's come in tears into my van because she's helpless at this point. He just turned around and said, give me any shoe, I will wear it. He's like, just give me any shoe, it's okay. Remove it kahin se bhi, kisi ka bhi de de, main pehen lunga. Okay. You won't believe it. Disha's back then makeup artist ka shoe size was same as Kunal Khemu's. I've begged him because they were black shoes. I'm like, I beg you, I've cleaned them by myself. That moment only van ke baad I'm cleaning, dusting, calling Trezda, saying saaf karo, sanitizing it a little bit because obviously it's an actor. I've gone into his van. He's worn it. He's not said a word. He's hugged me and said, it's okay, it happens. Relax. We'll figure it out. And I had a different stress that what do I give the bloody makeup artist now? He's going to walk on set barefoot. And now this is going to be continuity for my whole film. I need to purchase these shoes from the makeup because he has to wear it.
Yeah. Oh my
But
god.
you won't believe it, guys. My luck, because I had cried and I'd thrown a tantrum outside the van, and everybody on set knew that this girl is stressed and finding the shoe. Kunal walked to set. It was on Goa Ka one slope. He just reached there. Till the time the setup happened and all, I got a walkie page saying from a spot dada saying, "Arey madam, khush khabri party do." I was like, "Don't tell me you found the shoes." I was like, "Please tell me you found the shoes. The shot has not started. Please God, please tell me this is happening." They're like, "Huh." I have ran. The set and base was like 5 minutes away. Actors were going in car. We could walk it also. 5 minutes walk, 2 minutes by car. I have ran down that slope, full speed, Hussein Bolt speed,
Oh my God.
gone. And all these potmen and all these boys were like, "Up party do, party do." I said, "Fuck you, fuck your party. Give me the bloody shoes." Because I'm like, and on the walkie, I can hear, okay, I can hear Mohit Suri going like, "Chalo, shot ready. Chalo, Khemu, come on, come to your mark." And I'm like, I need to reach set. And the AD team has come running down. The costume AD is there. I have removed the shoes from that Nike dabba. There was a garden between me and the costume AD. I have thrown one shoe at her, saying, "Catch." She ran. I ran. We are panting. You won't believe it. Kunal Khemu just stood up from his chair to start walking towards the set, like shoot place. And I've dropped, like so dramatically dropped in front of his seat the shoes. I'm like, "So,"
Found
panting.
the shoes.
I'm like, "So," and he's also looking at me like, "Huh, what?" He's like, "What just happened?" I'm like, "So I found your shoes." He's like, "Where?" I said, "Do not ask me questions. I can't even breathe right now. That is the speed in which I've come to you. Wear it and go." Because now I know I can keep these shoes in my bloody costume petty. And whenever they ask for this costume, I have my shoes and I don't need to call up the makeup artist being like, "Please, aapka joota wapas de do mujhe aaj ke din." I'm like, "Your costume is set." And
Crazy.
nobody on that set
Oh my
till
God.
date knows, I think, about apart from the people who are aware. Maybe like later as a joke, we told one, two more people, but I don't think Mohit Suri till date knows that this incident took place on his set as a director. His actor's shoes went missing and then we
This
cried and found it back.
this clip needs
So
to go
like
to
there's a lot
Mohit
of
Suri.
respect that you
Yeah.
earn.
No, I'm saying this clip needs to go to Mohit Suri, and he needs to know what this happened. I mean,
Yeah, now
Yeah,
I can tell
crazy
him. Now
stories,
he's like,
yeah.
"Sir, you
What
know what
better
happened after
gossips we
working
would
with him
have
on two
got, right?
films? Now I can casually tell him." So the first film, this
yeah.
is what happened.
Crazy.
I mean, amazing
I
experiences.
think,
Yeah,
yeah.
we could just go on and on, and
Yeah, because I'll tell you, there are some actors who would have behaved differently, honestly. Some actors would have thrown a tantrum and be like, gotten mad, gotten angry, yelled at, gone to the director, complained, being like, "I'm not shooting without my shoes, go get me new shoes." Things would have reached production house because then, the budget, like I've spoken about budget.
yeah,
Like I'll have to explain them that, okay, I bought a shoe worth 8 grand. Now that's missing. I have the bill, but I don't have the shoe to show you. But now I need to buy another 8 grand bill. And now your shoe has come on hold for 20 minutes till the time I go to the shop and buy a new one again. So I got saved by so much drama just because the actor was understanding.
Yep, yep.
that's
I
okay.
think it was great having a conversation with you, Harshita.
I mean, this
The
was
stories were amazing.
the
Yeah.
stories. Oh my God, yeah.
We can't never have imagined, right? What all is going behind
In
the
the
Yeah,
scenes
study,
in a
there's a
movie or
lot that goes on and it's like never ending.
but I think we'll end the segment here, and we can
Yeah.
keep talking later.
Yeah.
But thank you
I
so much,
think
Ashita,
3
for
hours
your
I've
time.
spoken.
Thank
I
you
need
so
to
much.
go drink hot
This
water.
is this is the
Yeah.
longest podcast we have had so far. So thank you so
And
much for
the best podcast that I have ever
to be
been
honest.
part of.
Hey,
Like,
To be
thanks,
honest, the
guys.
best.
yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, the
Yeah.
best podcast. I
This is the
mean,
best. Yeah, this is the best.
we are not cutting any of the things.
Something,
Okay, we're
something
not
coming
cutting.
out of the fact that I'm talkative. Come on. One good
No,
thing is
matlab
happening.
it's not. Matlab the stories behind it were so good, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
We just loved it. Yeah.
each part of it added some value.
Each part of.
That's
Yeah,
the only reason
exactly.
we are telling. But yeah.
I think we can stop the record.
Yes. Thank you so much, Arshita.